So is it just clagged over it?
It's kind of like it's broken out through the ground. I can't see it because I'm not on Twitch at the moment. But
Yeah, hold on a sec. Let me just bring Twitch back up.
happy accident. You paint anything tonight, Pete?
I've been painting up my Vespid Breacher squad.
Oh yeah.
Finally getting ready to put some paint on them. But yeah.
I finally picked up my shock attack gun for my evil sons.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Right.
Green.
I do like the green Necrons, but
yeah, you could go orange. That's a bit unusual.
yeah, like a flaming one would be good.
I'm thinking like a what we got here, like a Jakara orange topped with a fire slayer. Mm-hmm.
That's a good, not a bad plan. That's why I started my toe.
Pete, do you remember when I used to walk into the Bolton in GW and the first question Ryan asked, "Need more fang?"
Yeah. Definitely need more fangs. Nope.
Who's that from, Jason? Oh. All right, I cannot connect to Twitch. DNS cannot be DNS cannot be accessed here, so I can't see your stream at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, I mean, it does mean if they're going to be the shop display models, then they'll be able to take a bit of a bashing then at least.
Well, you're not going to use them, Jace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have it. Sorry? Yeah. Space Force have their tricks. Well, one thing I was thinking of was, and I know it's not the competitive side, which is your focus. I mean, that's where your interests lie. But would you want to see about bringing them into a crusade style thing? That's so as you're adding to them, as you're adding towards your competitive army, you're also adding to the crusade force. Yeah. Oh, I just Jace. Now is that you or is that Pete? No, it's Pete. I've now got a thing saying Tri-Def Smart Cam activation required, license expired.
Yeah. Well, that shows I've never used my webcam on here before.
Mhm.
I was trying to just show the tow that I've been doing, but I don't currently. I am just working out how to. It's not. It's only. It's only like the laptop webcam. Uh,
Mm. Yeah. But yeah, I was just going to say, Jason, like there are some stratagems for the space rules that obviously sort of favor a melee focused army. And when you've got the Blade Guard, who by all accounts have been given the Wolf Guard keyword as well, there's some play in those stratagems. Well, it's like I'm just looking now because I'm thinking about the Judicator I've got them in my hand. There's a stratagem for Space Wolves. What's a Space Wolf character that lets you roll all failed hit and all failed wound if your power level is lower than your opponent than your target. Yeah. Plus, I mean, will we be able to take relics from our? Or are we just going to be no relics, no warlord traits? Hello.
um, what as in like what the changes are going to do to the tournament scene, or how it carries on, or. Hmm.
Like I mentioned, having a dice app rather than using dice. And I'm so used to rolling them bones. I don't like. I love the being. I've played orcs. I love rolling 60 dice at once.
Mm. There
Or
is that, yeah.
as with
Um,
the assault intercessors being able to roll 74 dice off of 10 units, 10 models.
I think I mean the main issue I guess at the moment is the amount of time in uh like a single space really with another person is the issue rather than particularly dice and things like that, or even distance. It's generally that it might have to be like quite smaller numbers to split. I would have thought. Depends on what they allow. I don't know. It's yeah, yeah. That's it. It's
I'm in the hesitant camp, as we all know.
mhm.
It would be nice to maybe speak to the Forge guys and see if we can nab that first weekend when they open, like having an open weekend at the Forge. I mean, I imagine if
Yeah,
they are going to do something like that, they probably want to roll Guild Ball or roll God Tier, one of their own properties. But if we can get in early on, well, yeah. Hey, Space Wars there. Yeah, I was just kind of thinking. The other thing I was just thinking was the pods idea. So, do
mm,
you do tournaments over the course of 3 weeks? You have like one group 1 week, another group the next week, and then you bring them together in a final week to have like a final.
yeah,
Because it would keep the same number of people at the tournament, but not all on the same day and in the same space. So we could control the space that bit better.
yeah. I think that might be a good idea. Um, mhm. No, that seems fair.
Jason, ITC and that crowd that denotes whether or not something is a major or like all of that or a GT. What would their thoughts be on if we split? We have one tournament, but we do split it into pods over several, like 2 or 3 weeks. Would we still be classed as a major, or would we be small RTTs? Would they look at it like a series rather than a?
Yeah,
You might get some traps. It's just yeah, it seems like that's maybe a fairly responsible way of doing it.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, if we, let's maybe not look at America for a guide on what to do. Especially with some of
Yeah,
the
that's kind of messed up the whole ITC scene for the year, hasn't it? Really, uh, with everyone coming back into play at different times. Uh, yeah. Hmm.
that's,
Yeah.
that would be next January, isn't it? Yeah, 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 yeah. But on a slightly more, oh, where was I going to go? On a slightly more positive note, away from the uh, yeah, no, it's gone. It's all doom and gloom. We're all doomed. No, what I was going to say is with like people being able to say, "Oh, I won. I'm top best in faction this year." Obviously, before all of the allegations came out towards one of the founding members of Evo, they were moving towards an online tournament. They were going to do everything. They basically ditched all the big games, and only went for things which had good netcode. And there was already some stigma around that of, well, yeah, you won Evo, but you won the online Evo during COVID, so it's not quite the same. Do you think there was
Yeah, not
a
everyone
sort of
was ready to play.
stigma towards people who may become best in faction this year? If they try and make a big thing of, hey, I'm best in faction for Eldar or Space Wolves. Yeah, it was rare. Yeah, I think, wondering the, yeah,
Hey, I'm going to take top 10 ARC player in the UK and run with that as well. So
I need to try now. You guys have got me thinking. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, here's huh, bloody hell. I wish there was better. I want to give all my data right away, all of my personal information. I don't care. Target your ads at me better. Don't give me an advert for something that I've already bought. It's stupid. No, have we heard any more about BCP and DUP and the merger there?
Hmm. Yeah, having the missions seem really quite solidly written to. So I think it's going to be really actually quite difficult to score points in a lot of things. It's been it's really making me think how to change my army lists up as well.
Oh, guys, I'm not the Space Wolf.
See, yeah, you're not being able to. So you've not been able to take him off the objectives in your turn, the ones that he's on, because it's the primary ones only scoring at the beginning of your next turn. So you've got to sit. Wow.
In the UK though, yeah, number 11 globally for Space Wolves. Number 3 in the UK. But when I get these boys on the table, oh yes, gonna own some Xeno.
Mm, yeah.
I've heard some level that at ninth as a criticism as well, that it's reducing the amount of player interaction. Because if you can get a resilient unit onto the objectives and you're scoring your primaries each turn, maxing them out and stopping your opponent doing it, you don't really have to worry about killing them. So you just have to focus on surviving.
Yeah, depending on what you've taken for your secondaries as well, you can potentially just hold out. But then again, some of the deployment maps won't allow you to do that. A lot of them only have one point in your own,
Yeah,
or right next to the zone, so it does force you into the middle in a lot of the games. It does
yeah.
look like
Oh
they've
no,
really thought.
that's gonna be great for me because imagine I'm playing Space Wars, so it's already a smaller table. I've
Mm,
got a squad of 10 assault intercessors. They charge, no, advance straight up the field, get onto an objective in the middle of the board. They're backed up by decent characters who can shut down charges. Who's going to want to charge that? Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, just imagine that you've
yeah,
got assault intercessors with all of the attacks they can pump out. Who's going to want to charge
yeah,
that? And
kicking out 4 attacks
we see
each.
it with what's it, transhuman physiology. We, I know we all saw a little bit of Marines getting. I never got to use it because my book didn't come out in time. But
Hey, I've still not got to use any of my custom jobs.
no.
You know.
Oh, we were having a little discussion earlier about the custom job and the next going to just
Yeah.
change gears. So
In
if that gives you an extra CP, yeah, it's basically giving you a custom job for free for 85
yeah.
points.
But are any of them worth 85 points is a good question. I think probably one of the best ones, the corkscrew upgrade for scrap jets.
Yeah,
Basically allows them to it pretty much allows them to fight twice,
yeah,
which is fantastic. And if you put it a full squad of 3, and then they all separate into their individual units. But yeah, for that's probably given a unit of 3 scrap jets, which are basically power fists on wheels.
what's the scrap?
Um,
What's them?
that's the
Oh,
Mechatronic scrap,
yeah,
the rocket pods, which is probably the best of the buggies by in terms of competitiveness, just because
scrap, yeah,
it's got the rockets and all the daiquiri with it as well,
yeah,
and it's got like I think
the
it's
grep,
strength 8 -2 D3 damage attack,
yeah.
so it's kind of
It's
almost a power fist.
given the blast keyword now, hasn't it?
Yeah, for the rocket pod gun, not rocket pod, what's it called?
The wing gun, wing rocket, or the
No,
rocket.
not the wing rocket, the other one, the rocket cannon. I think.
I'm looking at it right now. The model.
Hmm.
Well, with an offset, yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
What do you think of Dire Avengers with the Invuln? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, hmm. Yeah. Like, hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's so. What was he receiving then? Was it he was getting a extra -1 to hit? Was it because you couldn't see the bit? Oh, oh.
Imagine the attack gun, Pete, at the top of a building like you were playing when me, you, and Paul played with Graham. You've got your shock attack gun up the top. Can't see your
Yeah.
base. Can't shoot you.
Oh, that's yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Mm.
Against which, something like a shock attack gun is going to just sit back and shoot while the majority of the fight's going on in the middle. Would you agree, Pete?
See, now I thought I read that if you were classed as in the terrain, it didn't count for the obscured rule. It was only if you're like if the terrain was between you and the target, But if the target was in the terrain, so like on the levels of the ruins,
Yeah.
it could still be targeted. That's how I read it.
Is Jason going to claim a moral victory over Sam?
So if he was on the ground floor, like behind the terrain, then the obscure rule would affect, as long as the terrain. Yeah, let's see if I can bring up the terrain rules. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah, especially where you get the See, yeah, how does it work where you get the ruins that taper off at the edge as well? So they're not. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, hard. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he is obscured. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm scraping with a knife.
Yeah. Really.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That moot. Oh, I may need some of that.
Give me a sec. I'm just going to try and flip back into Twitch to see if.
Yeah, it's saying the stream's restarting on mine.
I can see now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh,
It's the final of the blood. So just got to like paint him, put the fairings on. Might clean those up now. Yeah, I'm proper hopping between projects at the moment. Oh, I've got that. I've got that below.
What have I got in front of me? I think the brightest I've got is probably Fire Dragon. No, no.
Yeah, fire bright is a really bright orange.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm not gonna see it.
Then you got one down from that, which is Troll Slayer orange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Troll Slayer. And then you got my favourite, which is Jakero orange, which is off there somewhere. That's what I use for. Oh, there's a second pot here. Yeah, that's what I used for all of my Cecilia.
Yeah. Dark red orange.
Fire, is that the one you were talking about, Jason? Orange Fire, is that the one you're talking about? So I'll show you what that can look like. Because that was back when I was actually playing around with an airbrush.
Oh, I've been watching Rachel paint some of her spooky dudes, and she's been getting some really good colours with like the hex wraith one,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. And the Gary's Blaster one as well. What was it, Gary's?
How well you can see it, Jason? You see the orange on that? Shame I can see the table.
Is that Jakaro?
No, this is the Vallejo, that
Oh.
hot orange or fire orange. That orange, this orange here, that's the Jakero.
Yeah. That's why I've always tended towards like Troll Slayer and Fire thingy for the. But yeah, I've not really tried the Valero paint, so.
Yeah, might have been the same set I got. Ooh. Were there any colours there you've run out that you're looking for? Let's have a look. See if we've got- That's yellow ochre. Oh, no. See, the problem with buying like non-GW ones is I bought this, which is Oxford blue, which they said was the Fang. It's not purple. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've started liking the brighty colour ones. I've started liking the kind of more cartoony, almost bright style that some people have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Good bit of grimdark's always good, of course, but I've seen just
Well,
some bright style
well,
of model.
benefit from that cartoony brightness, though.
Mm.
Oh, I need to check those out as well. Hmm. Imagine it's like that hex ray that Rach is using at the moment, Pete.
Yeah, there's that one. I'm trying to see if I've got the other one in my back.
Oh, Pete on his stream in Discord. So, he doesn't know. Oh, here he comes. Hey, you are, Pete.
Oh, Cause Blaster is the one. I don't know if that's an old one or a new one or what, but I've never tried it before, and Rachel's been playing with it. It's really good.
Hmm.
Oh, ah, big face.
You're live on stream. Don't say fuck or bugger.
Oh, shit. I mean, they're only base coated now, just my things, but this is what I've been working on today.
Hey.
So that's for Sting Wing with the kind of more wing pack, and then
Pete, I've picked up Gladius.
yeah,
You know, like the 40k
that's the
4X game.
oh yeah,
Best bit are horrible in that game. They just keep
really.
as if they work like that. Love it.
So yeah, so I've just got all that. Well, all the highlighting to do now with those guys. Oh. That's enough for me for a little bit.
I was going to say, yeah. Could you imagine, like, you know, these bikes when the damage output they have as well?
Oh yeah,
And they've each got rapid fire 2 guns, which are just you know, they're just bolt rifles. They're new bolt rifles, so they're AP -1, AP -2 during the tactical doctrine, and then they've got heavy bolt pistols, and they've got Astartes chainswords, which are going to be AP -2 from turn 3 onwards. They're just going to be they hit like a truck.
yeah.
They get an extra 2 attacks on the chart when they charge. And from what I can see, and I'm guessing this is going to get FAQ, that doesn't. They still get shock assault as well.
Yeah, that's everything I've read said they did as well. So was that what 5, 6 attacks on the charge?
So they've got 2 attacks base, +1 for the chainsword, +2 for charging, +1 for shock assault.
Madness.
Dude.
And then the toughness 5, 4 wounds apiece as well.
And then you've got the fun and games of being able to sort of buff them further. So if there's space wolves, get them near the wolfing stone for an extra attack.
What kind of points are we looking at the moment?
We haven't.
120 for 4 for 3. All right.
Is that it? 120. The Graces were 111. I mean, yeah, they're so cheap, but then thinking about it, having just gone, oh, aggressors were cheap. Aggressors also had power fists. These guys don't. So if you get them in combat, then you can murder them. But and also T5 with a 3+ save on even on aggressors isn't great. I guess that's where you save your transhuman physiology for. But yeah.
Well, this is what we're thinking with the orc stuff. Is I just don't think like a unit of boys or something like that would be decent for maybe trying to take someone off a objective, but they're just not going to survive the whole till the next turn. A lot of the time, I think it's going to be well, yeah, especially with blast weapons and things like that.
As the resident orc expert in this chat at the moment, do you still see value in taking a unit of 30 boys?
It's I think against certain opponents, yeah. I think if you can get them in their early turn 1 still with a jump or get a couple of units in early doors, I still think they're going to be able to do a lot of damage. They're not going to fall quite as quick to morale. But yeah, they don't tend to survive the turn after they've made the charge though.
Or the turn they make the charge if they're charging Space Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like if you think about the rate of trying to get them across the table, if you've got 30 boys, you're probably still going to have the full number of extra attacks when they make it there. But you're not going to have 30 boys when they get there. You're going to have like 22, 26, somewhere in that sort of region.
Well, yeah. Well, most of the time, not even that. So that's probably why you need. It's either do you go for like lots of big mobs to just overload it so you will get some through, or not. But at the moment, I've been thinking about just taking lots of 10-man squads, maybe like a brigade with like 6 10-man squads,
Yeah,
maybe some in trucks, some not in trucks, and just to keep a kind of wave thing going on. So you've got 2 or 3 units on all the objectives across the middle at the moment.
yeah. I was just thinking, like, between the jump, green tide, and being able to put something in like an outflank, you could keep the boys alive for the turn that they really need to be there to do their business. But
Mm,
if you to jump them from behind a building, an obscured building, as we were just discussing, you
yeah.
could keep them safe on your turn. To jump them up into the middle, sit them on an objective, and or charge into something that's going to really, well, could hurt you in a later turn or hurt one of your buggies. I'm just wondering if I think there's still value in taking a big 30-man squad, but I mean, I defer to you, to be honest, and your expertise.
Yeah. It's just I've only ever found them effective when you've taken lots of them. So just go full horde, really.
Yeah,
Like either backed up with the shock attack guns or mech guns and the like. But um, yeah, I don't know. I've just the way I've found them when I played them is that they tend to be they just don't have the durability. The big squads. There's only a few games where they'll kind of just bog down a bit, maybe, but
yeah.
they'll
I
just go
say,
for a big smash of whatever they're going for first, and then just get torn apart as everything focuses on them. So.
yeah, I think I found them underwhelming. I think would be the phrase. You know, you expect a lot out of them, especially when you see them. You're like, oh, that's a lot of boys.
Mm,
But without any like the AP on the close combat weapons and being strength 4 against things which can be, can make it harder for them to wound. And orcs don't have much that gives them rerolls, do they?
no, not especially. You can get +1 to hit with the banner,
Yeah.
and now you've got Gazgul actually gives Goths reroll ones.
Oh,
So you could get your big 30-man mob backed up by Gaz and the banner,
yeah,
who are kicking out twos rerolling ones in combat, which would be horrendous.
yeah.
But again, it's getting all that work to work and actually having a
And
chance to
the
get Gaz.
rerolling as well, isn't it?
Mm. I hope so. Yeah, I do like dreads. I need to finish build converting a few more up.
Pete,
But
we need to have a Dreadfest.
yeah, we do need another Dreadfest.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think it's the screen. I'm just
Yeah,
going to take you full screen, Jason. Just give me a sec. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that looks really nice.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody on stream now just got a good view of the bald patch at the back as I lean into the camera as much as possible to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. They call it, seeing as it's 11 o'clock as well, and it's not no longer a school night. We've got the kids at home tomorrow night.
Hooray. Boo.
Yeah, and I'll post some pictures of models, and Jason post pictures of models as and when they're finished. think this worked really well. Actually, I've enjoyed this. Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds fair.
I was going to say, Pete, the our game of Blackstone last Monday worked really well, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was nice and smoothly. It was whoever's put the time in to make those things has, you know, put everything in there. It's been
Like
good.
GW, give him a job because if you do an official mod for it, I'd buy it. Yeah,
Mm, yeah.